Hey guys, welcome back to 7th Gen Accord Revamp. Alright, this is episode 3, and we're going to go over things relating to LEDs and turn signals. So I did order a turn signal relay, an LED relay rather, from Diodedynamics, and I have the web page up here. You can see it on the screen in the corner. And basically, it's an LED flash for 2003 to 2007 Honda Accord. The features of it are it's compatible with LED bulbs, it prevents hyper flash errors, simple swap for original module, and a direct fitment and proper sizing. So you're wondering, well, why do we need this? Can I just put LEDs in place of the front turn signals or the rear turn signals? And the answer to that is no. If you do that, you'll get something called hyper flashing, and that's where the turn signal blinks really quickly, and it's not at the normal speed that you're used to. It's part of the CANBUS system. And what is CANBUS? It is a controller area network, and it's basically designed to allow microcontrollers and devices to communicate with each other's applications without a host computer. This is right off of Wikipedia. So basically, if you put an LED in, so I have one over here kind of as a demonstration. So imagine you put this LED in instead of a bulb. Now this LED, if I can see it right here, draws 2.5 watts. So for the turn signal, if we look at this wonderful web page here on v6performance.net, it's for Honda Accords and whatnot. Rear turn signals here. For the sedan, 21 watts. So, and this is 2.5. So why is this a problem? Of course LEDs are more efficient. The CANBUS system finds out that it's not sending as much power as it would think, or that it by standard it should, because 2.5 watts versus 21 watts is a big difference. Then it's going to do the hyper flashing, because it's basically a system to tell you that something's wrong. So it's going to blink, and for people like us just trying to switch to LEDs, this is why you either go with resistors on the LED, so they'll have CANBUS air-free LEDs that they'll sell on eBay or online, or you can go the route like I did and buy a relay that will do it for you and prevent that hyper flashing. So what are CANBUS-free LED bulbs? This website, brosled.com. They're LED bulbs that have resistors that are internally or externally attached, and it works with a bunch of European and American vehicles. Does what I just explained. It'll stop that hyper flashing. It won't blink rapidly. It'll blink at the normal pace, and that's what you want. And they're most commonly used for exterior lights such as turn signals, headlights, parking lights, license plate lights, and more. This website does note that internal lights typically do not need a CANBUS or air-free bulb. The reason for that is basically the interior lights, there's, once they're on, there's a constant draw of power. It's not switching on and off, where it can see that difference in power. And that's something we'll go over in part 2 of the LED installs. For the map lights and the interior dome light, I have some LEDs we'll be putting in and seeing how they do in there. And if we have a problem with that, then we'll know if they need to be air-free or they need a resistor. So if you're wondering if you can use a CANBUS LED in a non-CANBUS application, they should not be, because they can interfere with things, and it can cause feedback into the system and potentially shut off or mess with other circuits in there. So how do you know if your car is equipped with CANBUS? Basically, we went over it for turn signals. It's your hyper flashing and stuff like that. The website also notes, I have air-free LED bulbs, but they still throw an error. Why is that? The way to check is take out the LED and check the system with your normal bulb that you had. Turn off the vehicle, reinstall the LED bulbs. If the polarity is incorrect, you flip it and check. Most cars will work just fine if you know if it's CANBUS or not and you put the appropriate LED or relay in. But this website has a bunch of good info. I'll link it down below, just like the Wikipedia stuff and Diodedynamics, where I ordered the flasher from. Let's talk prices kind of for all of this. So the flasher itself is $60, and that does seem like a lot. Just to know that that flasher is compatible with everything, and then that's another piece of hardware that's compatible with the whole system that you're putting in. That's kind of the reason I ordered it. This piece is designed to work with the rest of them, and the rest of the lights don't have to be CANBUS air-free or something like that. So if you do have a problem with stuff and you need to still decode, so say our brake lights that we'll do in another episode, you can get something like this. Right now I'm looking at eBay. You can see the screen right here. So if you look in the picture here, basically they have a resistor in the middle and two clips. One goes into the end where you normally plug the light bulb in, and the other one goes into that end. And so that's how you can kind of hook it in. I have these on order and we will use them in a different episode because we will probably diagnose as we go and see if we need brake lights with this, because as of right now I haven't done enough research to determine if we need a brake light relay that supports this sort of thing. So stay tuned for another episode. It's going to relate to LEDs for brake lights, and this one just goes over turn signals, converting them, how it's going to work for the front. So the LEDs I ordered for the front of the Honda are JDM ASTAR Bright 1157 dual color switchback LEDs. And the switchback basically means that when you have the daytime running or parking lights on, they're white instead of amber, and as soon as you hit the turn signal, they'll switch to amber and flash amber just like a turn signal, and as soon as it comes off, right back to white. So this is comparable to kind of daytime running lights that the 06 and 07 Accords have, where the lights are on as soon as you put the car in a gear and you have, obviously your lights turn to a certain mode. So those are kind of comparable to what I'm trying to do here. This would be brighter and more noticeable throughout the day and night. They're not amber kind of running as a daytime running light or whatnot, but they're white, so I figured I'd give those a go. And that's also the reason I had to order these, is because I did not want to find a CANBUS air-free bulb for this. These look like they're going to work pretty well, which we'll find out in this video because we're also installing that alongside the relay. Now let me make this clear before we go out to the car and work on it. I'm kind of piecing things together, finding a lot of resources online, but there's no real guide on what you need to do with LEDs. So you're kind of going to be learning alongside me what we need to figure out and do, because there's no like formal guide, at least that I can find. Maybe it's in the forum somewhere and I have to dig for it, but about and discussing, how LEDs work. Do you need a resistor for this or that? So I figured with these videos, even though they will be longer, it's going to focus on, kind of what you need to know and what I'm learning alongside doing this. You guys can make a judgment for yourself whether it's worth it or not to upgrade, or, you've learned something more. Another thing I'll note quickly too is I've bought pretty much everything for this car off of eBay, so anything I get, the link for it will be in description. It'd be super cool if eBay would be willing to hook me up with a sponsorship for eBay Motors and kind of show me just building this in the backyard, but there's plenty of other more experienced people doing that. But I recommend eBay right now because it's cheaper and you're not pouring as much money in, and you can find out the quality of these parts just by watching these videos. If I say it sucks and I think it's terrible, I will tell you. If I think it's really good and it's working, and I have an update video, like 6 months from now, how it's doing, then that's kind of the point that I'm making on each product. So you can take, these parts with a grain of salt. It's eBay. A lot of people think eBay has a bad rep for things like this, but I'm just gonna give it a shot, and I'll let you know how it works or if it works. So shout out to eBay for existing and letting us work with cheaper parts and different vendors. Let's go out to the car. We've got the relay here. Let's take a look at it. Let's pop it out of the box. That's what your relay looks like. It's pretty simple. It'll tell you the wattage and all that it supports. But this is what we'll be putting in, and I'm going to show you the location for that and where it goes in. But first, let's have a demonstration to show you what happens when you use LEDs with the stock relay. Okay, so we're here at the trunk. I have my LEDs here. One of these is dead. Okay, this is the dead one. So we'll use one for an example. So pop this off here. Inside, got this little bit down here for the cables, and you might need two hands for it. There we go, I got it for one. I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect everything so I can turn the bulb and pull it out. So there's the bulb. It's 7440 and it says 21 watts. Now, if you're handling bulbs and you don't want to touch it with your hands, the best thing to do is get gloves. So I got a glove on. So we'll go ahead and pop this out here and connect this up. Make sure the pins line up. There we go, it's in. Now we'll grab our little connection wire here, flip it around, and pop this in, just for the sake of testing, just to show you guys. Now on the other side, what I'll do is pull out the plastic cover and I'll disconnect the bulb and pull it out, so that way you can see what's happening when I hit it. So let's go back into the car. Let's go ahead and grab our keys, put it in, turn it to the on position. It's gonna beep. So let's go ahead and do turn signal. So see how it's hyper flashing there? I don't know how well you guys see it, but it's blinking extremely fast. So now if we go out and check, look at the LED is at full brightness, blinking at rapid speeds. That means that's the CANBUS system at work telling you that it is wrong and that it's expecting the wattage of this bulb. Now the other one's not on yet, but we'll go ahead and flip this off and we'll push the hazards. Hazards still go. Now if we check over here, the bulb is on, the LED is flashing, but oddly enough with the stock flasher, you can see that they're blinking at A, the same rate, but B, the LED, the power is slowly rising to max and then just shutting right off like an LED instead of blinking right on and right off at full power. That's just an interesting side note, but there's the proof. Now, if I go and I turn on the right turn signal, oh well, you gotta turn off our hazards first, turn on the right turn signal, it turns on normally. Now, see, there's no blinking because this one is separate. Now, if we want to really test this, we can pull out that bulb, as we'll do here, and it's hyper flashing. So here you go, it says it's wrong because there's no power or resistance. So hazards work fine, but when you go to do your turn signal, it's going to tell you that something's wrong. That's why you need this little relay. Okay, so now that our demonstration is over, let me show you how to install this guy. So before you install this, you're going to want a pair of pliers that look something like this, that are not needle nose. So not these are not good. You'll need these, especially if you're in a manual transmission like I am, because the panel that over there that we need to work with, it's hard to actually grip the relay with your fingers, and we've got two little connection pins right here that need to be pushed off to the side so you can pull the relay out, and you might have to use a bit of force. That's something I have come to learn, and make sure you have these. These are really helpful. So to start, we're gonna have to open the door here, and you want to go down to this panel right where you would pop your hood. It's easier you get out of the car because dealing with this as a whole is a bit of a pain. All right, let's start. So I like to remove the fuse panel cover, the internal one. And for this, you're just gonna push it, it'll pop. See, it's already moving. It's very easy to push out. Note that there are plastic bits down here, so we're gonna have to slide this out. So there we go, it's starting to move. Push this up, you can get the top to pop. Move it off to the side, turn everything a little bit, shake it, make sure it's not getting caught on anything, and just slowly slide it out. There we go, nice and easy. It's really easy and it doesn't take a lot of force. So now we're looking down in here. So these parts, just put them on your seat. Let's go ahead and grab our pliers and our new relay. And now you're gonna kind of want to crawl under here. And all the videos I've seen, nobody has a clutch pedal when they do this. It is much easier if you don't have a clutch pedal in the way. But this whole same concept applies to automatic transmissions, just that you're gonna have more space to work down here. There is the relay over here, and I'm sure you can't quite see it because I can't even see it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up my phone. We're gonna activate the flashlight. There we go. There's our relay. That's the one we wanna get at. All these other things are part of the internal fuse panel. So if you ever have to change fuse for inside, it's gonna be over here. So I've had to take the GoPro off my head because this is gonna be hard and it was falling off my head anyway. So if you can see there, on the one side, there's a little clip. It's hard to see from your angle, but there's a little clip and you'll see it if you're laying down here. You're gonna wanna push that off to the side a little bit,
and try and open it. People recommend use toothpicks to get in between there so you can slide this out easier. I personally think that's a great idea because then you'll be able to get these little pin parts off without having to worry about it. It'll give a pop. Make sure you get the other side as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull mine out because I've already used it. But if yours is stuck and yours is old, I'm gonna show you what you'll do. You'll take those pliers, once I can set my phone kind of there and not knock the GoPro over. It's falling anyway. It's kind of a challenge to be one person filming, but pinch the side of the relay. So imagine you have a relay right here, pinch the side of it, and then just pinch your hands together and just pull it out. There you go. Now it's out. To install the new one, just take your new one here and make sure it's lined up, and we'll put the flashlight there so you guys maybe can see it from my head. It's hard. Take it like that and just pop it in. So line it up and push. And make sure it pushes in. If you hear a pop, that means both clips have made it in. I personally, the other side kind of came off the tab while I was getting it out originally, but you'll hear it kind of pop, and you can see on the little bit right there that it'll be clipped in. So I'm pretty sure mine's in. It's firmly pressed. So we'll go ahead, get out, move these tools, and we'll take our little panel here and reinstall it. Pretty simple to reinstall. Just make sure you kind of start with this bit first over here. You're gonna need to push this forward. There you go, it kind of clips in there. And then watch your sides, like right there. So it's kind of pinching it, but we'll roll it over a little bit and push the bottom in. And there's a clip over here you'll slide it into the panel so it doesn't really move. So now it's in there solid. And when you're pulling it out, it just kind of slides down and you'll pop the clip out. But it's now in there. Back is normal. Let's take our little fuse panel cover, put it on. It's clipped in. All right, we're good to go. Okay, so when you saw the demonstration, you saw a hyper flash. Let's go ahead and put it on. And let's pop our trunk. And let's go ahead and hit our turn signal. So it's functioning. And to prove the front one's working, we'll walk over here. I can see it blinking. Okay, let's go to our trunk. And now, just to show you that this works with your OEM bulbs, it's on and it's functioning. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this out. And let's take our 7440 bulb and put it in. Now, I've done it the wrong way, so if you've done it the wrong way, go ahead and take it out, flip it, and put it back. There you go, perfect turn signal. It's not hyper flashing. The other one's not on. All right. So there you go. Now if we hit our hazards, they're still blinking as normal. And if we look, they are blinking on both sides. One more thing we'll check just to prove it to you guys. Right turn signal. That is our normal bulb. It is working just fine, and the other one's off. Okay, so no hyper flash. Let's go ahead and move on to these JDM ASTAR LED lighting bulbs for the front. These are the switchback amber and white ones. Okay, so we need to remove the battery to get to the right one. We'll start with the right one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect our terminals. You can just unhook this little bit here on both sides. That clamps down. There we go. Go ahead and set that here. By the way, to get this out, 10 millimeters. Just use a little wrench. So there we go. Okay. Let's grab the battery. And set it there. All right, battery's out. So now the battery out, I'm not sure how easy it is to see, but the turn signal is right here. In my hand, there's a little white thing. It's impossible for me to see from my eyes, but I don't know how good the GoPro can see it. Is right there. So this GoPro angle is the best angle I can get it at. So let's go ahead and see if I can show you guys. Rotate that. There we go. And out it comes right here. Go ahead and bring it out. There you go. You can see it. There's the bulb. There we are. Looks pretty good. Set that just there, right for now. And let's pull this one out. So this one you're gonna push down, twist a little bit, and then it'll pop right out. There you are. There's our old bulb, and here's our new bulb. So I'm gonna go ahead, line it up, push down, and just turn. There we go. They should be in. Okay, so now can't really test this because the battery is out. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and put it back in. There we go. All I did was push it in, twist it towards me, and it popped in at the passenger side. Kind of hard. Reach your hand right here. You'll feel it, the plug. I don't know, it's really hard to see, but I'll try with my GoPro. See if you guys can see that. It's right in there. It's a little further back and up. There it is, there's the plug. I can't really point my finger at it, but there it is. So, sneak my hand in there. This one. And twist it. Made more for a left hand to do this. There we go. There we go, bulb is out. Let's reach for it. Okay. There we go. And it's in. Okay. Go ahead and reinstall it. That one is in solid. Perfect. We're just gonna put it in so that we can test for now. There we go. That's enough just to test it. Okay. Battery's in, time to test it. All right, we're in. Let's go ahead down here, put it on, and let's do hazards. Okay, let's take a look. This side is not blinking. This side is blinking. Okay, that means the polarity is reversed on that side. Good thing we checked, so make sure you get them the right direction. But that one, if you can see it, that's a nice blink. Parking lights, what I refer to as this one. Let's see how they look. Oh, that's really quite nice. Look at that, nice and bright. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and turn everything off, pull out the battery, and fix that bulb. And let's reverse this. Flip it. There we go. Put on daytime or whatever. Take a look. That's nice and bright. That one's nice and bright. Okay. go ahead and hit it with the flashers. Let's see. Looks good to me. Let's double check our rear. Our rear will be working. Our lights are on normally, so that means it hasn't killed the tail lights. Looks like we're good to go. Okay, so just to show you it works, left, right, no hyper flashing. But I have noticed one thing. So if I put it on left, let's go back to the trunk here. And obviously it's blinking just right. Let's disconnect this one. And this is our 7440, our good LED. Look at now, it's blinking rapidly. And we have hyper flashing. So what this means here is that little resistor wire I mentioned earlier on eBay, it's here on the screen now, must be used in the rear. So I'll wait for that to come in as an order, but currently that is the only thing causing hyper flash for the front and rear, is because the rear LEDs, A, I'm getting different ones in the mail, and B, I do believe at this time that they require a resistor between them. So be sure to watch a follow-up video, part 2 to the LEDs, and I'll show you kind of what we find out. Okay, so now that we got them installed, we're gonna wait about 4-ish hours before it gets really dark and see what they look like. I'm excited, so I really can't wait to see what they look like. This is the first reaction to these lights. Not as bright as I thought. One is changing, the other is not. Seems we have a problem. Wow, it's really bright. I wonder if our problem is lack of charged battery. And I don't know why it's changing colors, so we'll just take a look. I don't know what's going on. This is why we test it in the dark. Okay. Obviously they're trying to blink. Let me turn the ISO up, it's kind of dark. But if we look in here, the mileage is flashing. Let's see, our door light, even our door light is blinking. Very odd. Pop the trunk. Our signal back here is working, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. To be honest, I'm very puzzled. This isn't quite the first reaction I was expecting, but then again, the battery's kind of dead, so I guess we'll give it a jump and get it going and see what happens then. turn signal. There we go. And we'll go in here, put the hazards. All right, hazards off. They're on, and let's put regular lights.
Okay, let's go over what happened there. How do I start this? It's my fault. The car battery, I guess, has still been draining. Looks like I need to do another parasitic draw test. That'll be in an upcoming video. The car hasn't been started in 2-ish weeks, so I think that was about the first time it was started. And I really thought, oh shit, I'm gonna have to go back to these. I guess just running it off the battery charger wasn't enough, but they showed that they were completely bright. So I think what happened is just the battery was discharged and things weren't getting the correct signals. But it works. I mean, once we had the car started, left and right, perfect. It switched from amber back to white, perfect, within that 1 second that it said as it was described. So I think that it is safe to say, as of now, that those are working pretty good. And I had them running for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And just going and testing and playing with them. Some of it on camera, some of it was off. The rear turns worked perfectly. We can see that in some of the footage, but we still have a little bit more work before we can have rear turn signals completely done. So today is, what is today? April 23rd, that's a Thursday. April 28th is a Tuesday next week. By then I will have 4 cables with resistors in them, along with bulbs for the rest of the rear, reverse LEDs, and brake lights. So we need to figure those out as well. That'll be in you know, whatever the remaining parts of the LED portion of these projects will be. I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a few more tests to kind of see where we're at. I mean, I really thought I messed up when, you know, they weren't coming on, but I'm just thankful that it was a battery thing, and I definitely need to check that out. Everything that I used today, parts and pieces, will be in the description. I definitely want to thank the people over at eBay during this whole virus thing, you know, the sellers behind it, for shipping these out. JDM ASTAR, thank you guys. Your bulbs are pretty bright. They definitely work as they should. And diodedynamics, thank you guys very much. I know you probably can't see this in the sticker, but it says diodedynamics, and that will be going on the car once the whole car has been detailed externally and it's all cleaned up, so we have a clean surface to put that on. So I hope that if you haven't found anything, but you found this video, you found it useful, and even though it is a bit long, I hope that you did find all the info in here somewhat, I don't know, not necessarily entertaining, but useful in terms of kind of building knowledge and understanding, you know, what's really going on. And I had loads of fun filming this too. And it's discovery. Like, I was pretty disappointed a few minutes ago to find that they weren't working, and then, you know, turns out to be a battery. So if you like this series and you want to continue following it, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, bell icon as well, to get notified for new videos as they come out. I don't really have a schedule yet for uploading these videos, but I hope to make it kind of weekly. Be sure to subscribe and get notified for new videos. Check out the playlist on the channel called 7th Gen Accord Revamp. It's going to have all the episodes in there, start to finish, and be sure to follow it there. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.